Hi, when we are leaving our scapegoat role, we finally set some boundaries. We are doing the very difficult work of taking a look at ourselves, seeing some of the issues that we face because of being scapegoated. Another part of moving forward is learning how to live a life that you love. And this is something that scapegoats have to learn. We've been so programmed to try to please someone else and follow these rules that are sometimes invisible and confusing and seem to change on a whim, right? Instead of doing that, it's time for us to look at what is it that we want from life? How do we reconnect to ourselves to figure out either what we were put on this earth to do or what it is we love? What is our passions? How do we want to live? So we can begin to kind of take our lives back and have a fulfilling, more meaningful life. So all of this comes from A Scapegoat No More Forever. I'm going to read today from page 68. I'm not reading. I'm just giving you some prompts. These are some writing prompts that are found on page 68 that are going to help you be able to identify and really outline what it is you want from your life. So the first one, where would you love to live and why? This is not something that scapegoats think about. We think about where we're needed, where we get the most value, where we're best serving, right? Which there's nothing wrong with that unless we're tied to someone who is just consistently tormenting and using us. That's why it's different for a scapegoat. So it's not wrong to serve. It's not wrong to be of use. It's not wrong to be useful to someone else. None of those things are bad. It is bad for us and for everyone involved when we're doing it for someone who's only interested in tormenting us. We're not actually even helping them. That's when it would be different. So think about that. Where would you love to live? And then why? This could be what type of place you want to live in. It could be a country you want to live in. It could be, are you a city person or are you a country person? Do you like, the mountains? Would you want to live in the mountains? Does that sound terrible to you? Right? Just thinking, do you want to live by an ocean? Just beginning to really dream about your life and to try and think, oh, where is it that I would want to live if I could live anywhere? Another one, what's my favorite part of my home or my space and why? So when you look around your home, do you have a favorite part of your space? So if you're sharing a home or living with other people, is there a piece of space that belongs to you? And do you have a favorite part? And if it is your favorite part, why? Number 3, which area of my space would I love to make more my own? So maybe you start to look around and you realize, I don't really love any single space in here. There's not a part of any of my home that really reflects me or that lifts me up, lightens my load when I go into this space, makes me feel really good. So if that's the case, then you might want to dream a bit more of what can I change about it? What do I not like about it so I can start to focus there? Or maybe there's like a need I have, a creative outlet that I would love to do that I just want to change and to begin to make my own. So really thinking about making your space your own, creating a space for you that you love. But remember, we can't really get there unless we start to take some inventory of our spaces and we start to be more dreamy, start to dream a bit more of a life that you would love to live. And what does that look like? And how can we begin to take steps to get there? Because it's not enough to set boundaries with your tormentor. It's not enough just to set boundaries with others. We also have to then learn how to live. So what comes after we start to sort of get better at identifying setting the boundaries? So again, the list is much longer and it's found on page 68 from A Scapegoat No More Forever. You can find it on Amazon. Another thing, this reconnecting period is supposed to be fun. So this is not something that is miserable for us or something that needs to be short-lived or is work, right? It could sort of be work, but it's meant to be this enjoyable, playful work. So if you're trying so hard to identify the life that you want and to begin to take those steps and you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, maybe take a bit of a break because this is supposed to be experiencing freedom. That's what it would feel like, right? It would feel like you're finally let out of your cage and now you're just able to live your life. What clothes do you like? Maybe you want to, try a different style. Maybe there's someone you really admire and you feel like that would, look fun to you, or looks like that would be a good fit for you, right? So it's those types of things where you finally have the freedom for you to just decide what it is you would like and need. So reconnecting is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to taste like freedom. It's supposed to feel like freedom. Another thing, being mindful when you're a scapegoat and you start to leave the system. I know there's a term, flying monkeys, that you hear about often. That's just where the tormentor sends someone to bring you back in. It comes from the Wizard of Oz, right? It's like the little monkeys do the witch's part. So you do have to be mindful of that. There may be someone within the system that you are pulling away from or getting out of, whatever type of system that is. Work, it could be church, it could be family, it could be anything, any type of a group that you've belonged to, that would be considered a system, right? So when you try to pull away from the tormentor, they may send different types of people. Could be like your aunt, it could be a sibling, it could be a coworker, it could be a friend that you've had for years, right? So you just have to be mindful, because oftentimes those people come with good intentions. They could come with good intentions for you, truly. They could think that they're doing the right thing by you. Or it could be that they're not even really seeing you. They're just trying to please your tormentor. So it could have nothing to do with you, other than they're basically on a job to get you. Either way, it doesn't matter. Whether their intentions are pure and it's for you, or they're not even thinking about you and they only care about your tormentor, for us, it doesn't matter, or it doesn't need to matter. Because remember, one of the ideas that we follow is that we don't condone abuse, and someone who expects us to accept or condone abuse has to be further from our circle, because that person, either they can't see it, or they're dependent on the system or the tormentor, or they're just, thinking they're doing the right thing. But if they won't, recognize and see the abuse and want the best for you, because truly, if you know someone's being abused, you want them to get out of it. And it doesn't matter where the abuse is coming from. You just want it to stop. If you really love someone, you don't want to see someone abused. So when someone keeps trying to see us through in our abuse, or get us to hook back into the abuse, even though you keep saying, like, this was not good for me. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't eating. I cried myself to sleep every single night. Or they just ruined my whole life over and over and over. Or, every day I dealt with this and this and this. And if you keep trying to explain that, which we have a tendency to over-explain from not being heard. If someone can just turn a deaf ear to that, a blind eye to that, right? If they just have no consideration for the abuse that you've endured, that person is not thinking of you. So we would not want to take their advice. Right? We really wouldn't want to take their advice. We wouldn't need to take their advice. And you can feel good about that, right? Because it's like, wow, I just told you how awful that was for me. I finally got out of it. And if you were in abuse and you got out of it, I'd be super happy for you. But the fact that you just keep trying to guilt me, you keep making excuses for them, you keep putting pressure on me to return, then all my little bells and whistles and alarms are going off, and I'm just going to back way up, because I'm not going to be or let someone super close to me who believes it's my job to accept abuse, or who condones any type of abuse, or thinks that I need to sign back up for abuse. Obviously, that's not good for me, right? So be mindful, pay attention. With the Scapegoat No More Forever, again, you can find it on Amazon.com. Thank you for taking this journey with me. If you're just finding this video for the first time, please go back and watch the playlist. There's a whole bunch of videos on A Scapegoat No More Forever. And again, there is a course on relationaltrauma101.podia.com, and you can also find the book on Amazon.com. So take good care, and you, my friend, don't be a scapegoat ever, forevermore, ever again. Take good care.